final of the night. And we get to answer, the big question for me is, am I actually cursed? Or will we make it out of here at a reasonable hour?
It's a fair question. I want to get to know Bono's mysterious ways. I want to see what he has to bring here from the jungle. We have really little insight. I tried to do some research into his solo queue account, but while there's a lot of information on Wikipedia about Bono, when it comes to his champion pool, a bit less information. So we're going to try and determine what we can take away. KSV does not want to deal with some bouncy castles. They're still feeling PTSD after spending about 50% of their game against Kongru Monster knocked up, so they will finally stay on the ground, and they'll also keep Zoe grounded as well.
Also have to wonder, how much prep does KSV have on Bono? How do they know his solo queue accounts and what champions he's been playing? Like you said, you doing some research trying to find anything about him, but
not everyone has known solo queue accounts. OP.GG can only go so far. Fun one is that Ruler and CoreJJ are duoing extensively. Ruler is LPL LCK and CoreJJ is LCK LPL. So they've clearly got some sort of synergy thing going on. They want to extend into this game. Vladimir Ban, one of Crazy's favorites, like I mentioned. He's been trying to snowball on the top side and make things work. The Azir ban does narrow down the mid lane extensively. Look at this, 5 mid lane bans. Malzahar kind of sticking out like a sore thumb here. So we'll see KSV want to grab it early or if they're just happy to wait.
This is also going to be the Kalista and the Ezreal opened up. So all that focus in onto the mid lane, the jungle, and the bot side of the map are looking pretty plentiful as far as what you can get your hands on. It seems like it's going to be the Kalista here for Ruler.
And the Malzahar priority not as high. If we see Malzahar, Corki can be taken as a farm lane into it, or you can just take most control mages and slow down your build and take a QSS quite early. BBQ going to take the Alistar very high price. This is a new thing this week. Feels like support identity has shifted week on week. It felt like Braum was pick ban after the first match day, but KSV smashed Kingzone. 2 games from CoreJJ on Braum. KSV could happily opt into Braum. Tahm Kench is also very likely because they have the Kalista and it allows Ambition to play around other lanes. And for his competitive debut, Bono is going to choose the Jarvan here. So knockups already, so while there's no Galio for the full knockup trio, we definitely got a lot of initiation for BBQ.
So far, just going to see nothing but standard here from Bono. None of those edge case picks like we saw from Yujun in his debut with the Lee Sin. To keep things nice and standard. The Alistar taken, KSV going to go ahead and snatch up the Taric for CoreJJ.
Yeah, Taric priority was kind of the week 2 story, and then it fell away this week when Alistar took his spot. So we've gone Braum to Braum to Taric to Alistar. Not the most exciting if you're looking for heavy engage or range supports, but it's just the meta we have right now. And we wondered about the Malzahar. We'll be taking first round for KSV. Crown on the champion that got him 3 wins over Faker and 3 wins in the World Championship. Didn't take a Malzahar skin, though, for his choice. And BBQ, one of our premier Kog'Maw teams, is actually going to take Kog'Maw in the first round. So they're one of the few teams that have high priority on the Kog'Maw still. Almost every other team in the league, I would wager, would take Ezreal in that spot, because Ezreal is available, more proactive in lane, stronger in those early skirmishes. Kog'Maw needs to farm until he gets his Rage Blade, then does come online. It doesn't need necessarily 6 items, but the 1 item spike takes longer. So a little bit of a surprise, but not because it's BBQ. Makes it all work a bit, and they do have a tanky front line in front of him. Won't include an Ornn, though. Ornn's going to hit the ban list.
That one gets taken out. Corki, as well as you were mentioning that into the Malzahar there, just go for the farm lane, so will be denied by KSV.
Do you wonder if Temp's going to, go for a real blast from the past, take Orianna here to potentially, accentuate the Kog'Maw, but also be an engaged tool with the Jarvan? It hasn't been a favorite in Spring. It's felt a bit outclassed when it comes to the mobility in the game and just how tanky the front lines are. Could also be something like a Tilia to just try to wave clear and not be there and get a Banshee Veil. Oh, Ambition looks so sad that Zach was taken away. He looks glum.
He's pretty bummed.
And Atilia's banned, so will that actually be the Orianna? Is it old one?
Okay.
Wow, the Korean casters are cackling super hard. Mad Life seems to have pulled a funny.
Yeah, he must have done something good over there. But Leah banned away, and seems like it's going to be the Karma here after the long hover. Nope, going to wait on it.
Going to have to ask Joel for the translation on that Mad Life comment, if it's a good one.
See what he said. But, okay, we'll wait. Get the last pick for the mid lane as they lock in the Gnar.
Just a bit of lane priority there. Favorite for Crazy. What's QV going to take into it? The so far his champion pool has been GP, Gnar, and Ornn. And GP surprisingly has gone through, so he's going to lock in one of his 3 champions he plays. We already saw Khan do very well in this particular matchup because it's been tending towards the gangplank a little bit for the farm lanes.
Well, first the Kazakhs just to give that extra little bit of tension and build up for the final lock-in, but very well could just be the GP yet again.
You look at the draft and you say, is that appropriate? Because we have seen KSV in particular go too far in the scaling. Kalista does allow them to force things early, so they do have engage in multiple places, and also the Malzahar to lock down with the GP ult coming through. Kaz is also on the front foot as, look at this right here.
Showing respect to the man in the Korean casting booth. I can see a knowing glance going over.
It's time for a Thresh hover as well, Ignar. You can do it. Gonna go with just the oldest of champions there, and a mid lane pick. Will it be the Syndra? Has been well out of meta in Spring. It felt like Orianna was going to be the first stop, but Syndra for a bit more lane control. We saw Tempt, I should say Tempt's champion, but it was BDD back at Worlds quarterfinals. Destroy Crown in lane when he was playing Malzahar on the day, but from there got a bit too frisky and got taken down and kind of sacrificed his lead. So playing through the lane, Syndra does do well in the sheer lane, and Tempt is one of our high-skilled mid laners here in Korea. Very underappreciated talent, how strong he is because his team has largely struggled. So I wonder if this will actually give BBQ and Bono in particular the chance to be aggressive. He does have multiple lanes now that really can boss around KSVs in the early game. The solo lanes especially are going to have the early priority. So if they can establish mid priority, start roaming, then potentially good things can happen here for BBQ.
Well, pressure's on. Syndra coming through, definitely an oddball pick. That's exactly what BBQ want to do. They want to pick people off, get the lockdown, have that stun come through. Cataclysm on top, pulverized with the Kog'Maw just mowing them down in the back line. KSV, squishier this roster. Just the Turret coming through, but they do at least have the Cosmic Radiance to try to keep everybody alive and in the fight.
You have the ability to stop Baron because of the melee Soraka going on with the Taric, so can do a great job around that objective. Standard for KSV, but a little bit more balanced than some of the drafts that gave them problems a few weeks ago.
All right, well, here we go. Final game of the week for OGN, KSV versus BBQ. Let's go ahead and see what they can get done with Bono on the roster. Let's load up for Summoner's Rift. We enjoy game number 1.
BBQ sounds a bit too relaxed. They just had their free chicken, so I guess they kind of, a bit too far in the chair. You know how it is. You have a nice filling meal, you start to get right to the back of the chair, starts creaking backwards, and you're very comfortable.
Tuck it out at the moment. Going through the food coma.
Hey!
Nice little Blitzcrank sign there.
I did ask some of our supports like Ignar for some Blitzcrank, but he gave me the honest answer. It's too many of these denial picks, too many melee supports to give free initiations to. Means no Blitzcrank. Feels bad, man.
Somebody should just make the ultimate sacrifice and just pick it, even if it does cost them a game.
I mean, Wolf did go Soraka, so that was the one time we saw recently when maybe a Blitzcrank would be in order.
Sure.
Very passive start here. We already gave you the stat that 12-2 game score since BBQ, then ESC Ever entered in summer of 2016. That was 6 months after their biggest accomplishment when they won IEM here and IEM Cologne, I should say, and went on to IEM Katowice and beat TSM famously in a huge upset there. Took them an extra season to get in, but they have been in the LCK ever since.
It's also when we saw Ruler start. Came in and had a little bit of a rocky start there for him, but very quickly soared to the top, and we realized that he really was the pickup that Samsung needed.
Yeah, he was in the Challenger, but he wasn't really a name people talked about. We have some of the Challengers casters working here. One of the Korean interviewers next to Cloud Templar's Dangun, who is the play-by-play caster for the Challengers. And never a name that he mentioned was Ruler. Everyone knew he was good, but the level that he hit so early in his career, first season, a couple of positioning errors, but clearly a promising talent, and a year later, right up there. We don't usually involve him in the big three, but now with Bang struggling and Prey and Deft having good seasons, Ruler's getting right up there in top 3 consideration for sure. Might be the most in-form AD carry we have. As Bono.
For a very aggressive start here. Going to flag and drag over to try to get Ambition. Can't quite get him. Stops the Grump up for now as Ambition tries to trade this back, and QV's roaming his way down. Bono, though, does have this blast cone, so he'll keep himself nice and safe. But already, aggressive stuff from the rookie.
And I love this approach. We said, debuting against Ambition, you know Ambition's going to be farming. He has a farming playstyle. He basically plays Graves jungle as every single pick he takes, looking for the first clear. And Bono looks at him and says, all I want is you, and goes for this counter-jungling style. Try and kill him or steal away his camps. I appreciate the front foot on your debut. It's good to see.
Yeah. Really good headstrong play right there from Bono, and even goes back in to get the Grump. So nicely done by him.
Bot lane. Be passive for now. KSV ducking out of lane. Trying to keep the lane going here. Obviously Kalista and Taric going to be very comfortable. If you guys are wondering about the melee range Soraka joke that's around there, it's said by Wraith in an interview with Invent Global, basically saying that with the tier, you get 2 points in your queue, and then you have basically permanent healing if you have mana. Tier gets you through the mana problems, and you're basically Soraka when it comes to the sheer level of sustain that the Taric pick brings. Also has turn, also has the Cosmic Radiance, but when it comes to laning phase, pretty non-interactive for the Taric.
Ambition going to be spotted there in the river. Ward right on top of the ramp as he takes down that Scuttle Crab. So good tracking so far as ground gets locked up. Temp just trying to assert himself here in this lane. And already is stretching a pretty decent little CS lead, depending on how many of these minions Crown can pick up.
Crown's going to be pushing. We said lane priority in mid and top side. Bono went for the back already, so only now coming back with the Tracker's Knife. But for him, it's all about playing the Battle Ward style. His lanes are in a great spot. If Kha'Zix is predictable, I think Bono has a lot of great things to play around in this game. So with the Syndra last pick, they really do have a lot of options here, and KSV kind of trying to lose the minimum. Usually their style, so that part comes true, but they do have a strong laning bot lane to kind of keep them powerful.
Top going about as expected here. Wave crashing in for QV, so keeping things nice and close so far with the GP, but crazy. Trying to keep his health bar as low as possible.
Taking a turret shot, though, to
That's not good.
help out things, but, you know, QV's going to come back in with his stopwatch ready and also a purchase. So, nothing much to speak about in the top lane. KSV's main priority is keeping bot lane pushed to stop there being 3 pushing lanes for the side of BBQ. Does mean they're going to give free farm to a Kog'Maw, which is not ideal. You want to deny the Rage Baited for as long as possible, but need to do the assist, otherwise Ambition has just no fun trying to deal with 3 pushing lanes. Himself going for an invade.
Oh, Ambition yet again. Flag and Drag's going to come through. Unleash power, Ambition down. One more hit just about would take him out. He'll comes through for the move speed bonus, and Crown's going to go ahead and push back his own.
It's almost a beautiful day for Bono, almost picking up first blood on debut. Doesn't get it. Little engage in bot side.
Yeah, Ignore going to go low. Takes quite a bit of damage here from Ruler, who's just still stacking up those Ren stacks there. Pulls him out, nearly takes him down. So really great stuff in the bottom lane of KSV, but Ambition already suffering quite a bit.
I mean, that's just a reality. The moment the Syndra
flash
can
in
bot
for
lane,
JJ, he's feeling it. Barrage comes down, Ignar popping the stopwatch, will stay alive, and Ruler takes quite a many few shots here. Gets traded down quite well, but they go for the play. Really great trigger finger there from Core JJ, but just can't quite find it. Ignar with the stopwatch shuts it down.
Now, one of the reactions that can happen here is that QV has used his ultimate, so when it comes to tools to deal with a turret dive, doesn't have ult, does have flash and stopwatch, definitely no guarantees. They can roam Syndra with ult top lane in the next minute and a half or so. There's a target on the back of the Pirates, so something to work around there. First buy feels so bad for Temp to... I feel like this is becoming a new age thing at Killers. You'll notice he has a QSS against Malzahar, that part makes sense. But also going to be going for the GP10, so trying to get over the gold sink that is the QSS first item with some gold generation with that Spell Thief. So that's a new approach we saw in the last match as well.
Flag and drag away there. Bono keeps himself safe. But this just keeps happening in Mission. Not really feeling safe in his own jungle as QV gets jumped on. Wallop comes down. He'll go ahead and cleanse that stun off. Trying to keep himself in the fight, but Another boulder, I guess, drill in this case. Does come through.
Concealed Spellbook on 3 members of BBQ. Very LPL style. We've had a couple of games in Korea like that, but it's the new norm in China is multiple Unsealed Spellbooks. Always fun to see what the choices are. For now, just the standard laning summoners outside of Ignar teleporting back to bot lane to enact a freeze.
Crown pushing up towards that top side, but the river is warded. He's spotted out there on the ramp anyway. So BBQ, again, their vision control right now is quite good. You look at that bottom red side jungle, and everything is very well lit up for them.
Hey, it reminds me
to track ambition.
Reminds me of Kingzone in Game 1, right? They've drafted for lane priority in the top side. Mid lane, top lane, and the jungle matchup are all comfortable for BBQ. So they've drafted to be able to put the foot on the accelerator in the early game. They've done that, but translate that into kills, into map objectives, having it be more than just something on paper is the next step that BBQ are really going to have to strive for. So far so good, but vision and scaling, or vision and early priority only matters if scaling is punished. If scaling gets away with it, then, well, the scaling's going to be very high.
It's a bit of back and forth here in the mid lane as Crown moves over to pick up a blue. Be a nice little handoff here. Ambition finally getting a chance to breathe in his own jungle as Bono is not being aggressive here for the moment.
Bono's lead is only to the tune of 1 camp, so going to be working towards Cinderhulk. Going to be a true tank and focus on Ogmore and Syndra as the big threats. Bot lane control very heavily on the side of KSV ever since they went for the dive earlier. When it comes to AD carries and supports duoing, I feel like this is one of the few bot lanes I actually see pretty exclusively duo. One of the things that's buffed by the changes to how matchmaking works and the fact that you can duo your way quite even very high on the ladder. Not that they're in Challenger yet, they'll get there, but they're on the way.
They're climbing. Ruler on the squad. He's a bit of a solo queue god, so should be able to hit that in pretty quickly.
Gone from being a solo queue god to just being a god, really, with how good he's been just in the past 6 months or so.
Overarching god at the moment.
Very, very consistent player. One of the big things about him. I'm not looking to actually clear the wall because he has no deep vision of Kha'Zix in the enemy jungle, so you'll notice, puts down a control ward, doesn't walk up because he's afraid of Flash Malzahar and a Kha'Zix showing up. But for now, just controlling the vision, picking up his Cinderhulk and looking for a better time. So when it comes to, his first appearance on the stage, I'd say so far so good.
Poor JJ roaming his way up to the mid lane here. Just clearing out the wards, alleviating some pressure for Crown. That's about it. Everything's slowed down. Bono hasn't even really been going aggressive at all. He's poked his head into the jungle just to throw down some wards for the moment, but isn't actively trying to stalk Ambition.
He's been in the right parts of the map, which is something that I think Trick struggled with in his early games in the LCK, but you're right, he still hasn't found what he's looking for. He's still looking for just the perfect time in order to find initiation with the Syndra, ideally. But because Syndra has such a low damage build, it's not as clear-cut. He doesn't have a Lost Chapter Syndra, he has a QSS Syndra. And we remember junglers ganking for tier Ezreals in the past, tier Varus. It's the same kind of story here. It doesn't have anything other than mid lane control. The mid lane damage is not there.
Juve still hanging in there, despite the immense amount of punishment that Crazy's been able to throw down onto him. Is still sitting pretty nicely here, just 9 CS behind at the moment. This is what we've come to expect from him, can handle these not-so-great matchups, taking the GP into the Gnar.
It's just become the norm. There was definitely some crushing Gnar games. It's still a good matchup for Gnar. But it's one of those things where teams are getting better at playing defense. I guess it shouldn't be a surprise, right? We're in the LCK, where defense is prioritized and offense is situational. And Gangplank going down. 30 CS is just fine with Kleptomancy not nerfed on patch 8.1. Actually profiting and looking for turret dives. It's getting harder and harder between Flash, Stopwatch, and Ultimate to respect. So you can see Bono's time is better spent clearing the Rift Herald even though QV gets a huge chunk in top.
All right, well, dodges out onto the boulder that time as Crazy tries to get some extra little damage here onto the turret, but QV will finish off the wave. Starts cheating forward. Still has that cannon barrage if he needs to throw it out.
Everyone's teleporting.
Oh, yeah, double TP going to be going up towards that top side. Tempt as well, roaming up. There's a control ward in the brush behind him, but they're looking for him in the lane. Ignar comes in, gets that pulverize, headbutts him back up. QV, no flash now. Just tries to trade back a little bit there onto Ghost, but can't do it, and First Blood goes through as the Rift Herald is completed and as BBQ gets the first turret.
Welcome to 2018 meta where the lane assignments don't matter. You're able to just teleport to the top side, get the kill. Usually that's the tank teleporting to bot lane. Flip it on its head when we have triple unsealed spellbook. Love the timing there. They also get the first turret. The first brick is trivial because of how much work had already been done by Gnar. Ruler and CoreJJ can take this turret. Maybe Ambition get a Mountain Drake as well. But I love the assertive play with this new age meta. New spin on it with all the unsealed spellbook from BBQ.
Yeah. Ambition just not in a position to help, and even if he was, I'm not sure how much of a difference that would have made, or if they both would have just found themselves dead. Mountain Drake will be taken here by KSV, but in the meantime, they're going to be losing out on this mid turret, or at least taking a lot of damage. 3 members here in the mid lane crown desperately trying to finish this thing off.
The Rift Herald actually turned there, so he denied one auto attack to the back. It's not quite going to kill the mid lane turret, but we're sitting at, what, 150 HP, so standing gold in many ways for BBQ. Blue buff contest as well. They're playing the map very clean. This is heartening to see with a new jungler without significant competitive experience.
Yeah. I mean, BBQ right now with Bono in the mix, it seems like they're one step closer to climbing the standings if they can maintain this level of play as they go deeper into this series.
Yeah, that's a fair read. And my big observation from BBQ's loss to Afrika was actually in regards to Trick and the mid lane, because there were times where Tempt and Bono just weren't on the same page. We saw, I should say Tempt and Trick weren't on the same page. We saw Trick get invaded, and then the mid lane didn't rotate. He just died, kind of out of position. They weren't necessarily crafting plays together. We haven't seen strong synergy between Tempt and Trick, and that's the big struggle, I think, for BBQ so far. Both of them can be weapons, but together they weren't getting the maximum out of them, and that's something so far has been cleaner with Bono in the roster.
Good communication from the bot lane as well. Ghost and Ignar seeing that window, go for the double TP play, so perhaps we can expect more of that as the game goes on. Really have both of those TPs back up. For now, things just going to slow down a little bit more.
Yeah, I mean, Drake controls the only thing that BBQ has surrendered, and Mountain the first one, obviously decent, but Cloud the next one. Not necessarily ideal, but you take it. Nice rotation coming through from BBQ, sorry, from KSV, but well spotted by BBQ. Have 2 control wards in the area.
Yeah, matched at CoreJJ. He's going to be going for the clear on a 1. Ignar coming around the side. And but pulverized straight into the knockup. CoreJJ tries to get that little dazzle, but can't find it. Pops the heal, gets slowed up, and the Fate's Call has to be used by Ruler in order to get CoreJJ out safely.
And all gets a control ward, so Fate's Call for a control ward and a flash. Pretty even, you'd say, all things considered. As we return to pushing mid lane. Lane priority still here for Tempt. Up 12 CS despite going for QSS first. Got his GP10 down as well. KSV really want to start something and get the advantage of Gangplank ult being the first thing to register on their top lane. That 5th man, but without actually the teleport needing to be invested.
Well, spot Crazy out in the river. He's going to be clearing that ward, so KSV know that he's on the way. He's built up about half an R-bar as well. This is likely just going to be BBQ all sticking together to try to go ahead and knock down this turret finally. Wave clear from KSV, though.
No autos even get in from BBQ.
It's pretty strong.
Will Ghost with his W. Look for anything creative? The answer is no. Oh, nice invade, though.
The Sun connects there onto Ambition, but they don't want to go all in. CoreJJ's still there. He's got the Cosmic Radiance ready, but Ignar, he's going on a secret mission. Gets the headbutt there onto Ambition. He gets stunned up. Gets locked into a moment he couldn't get out of, and he gets taken down as Ghost finds the kill.
Ignar special. Saw this at Worlds. Saw this against SK Telecom T1. So close with the Misfits to taking them down. It gets them a kill, but crucially, it gets them the turret as well. Red vision all through the enemy jungle. Only a single zombie ward, I believe, onto the red buff means that Alistar just surprises Ambition. are able to increase the pace of the game. 2 turrets to 1. Ghost in the mid lane while his support is roaming. Great stuff from BBQ again.
Yeah. Sometimes you can't make it happen on your own, but you saw right there, Ignar going on a solo mission, wrapping around the back, just isolates. And they take him down. Beautifully done. BBQ right now in a pretty good spot here with their control. The gold lead isn't that significant, but you can see that they're the one dictating the pace and the plays of this game, whereas KSV are the ones trying to react.
And let's talk a bit more about BBQ opting into Unsealed Spellbook. Now, because of that, you think of when BBQ have looked strongest, when Ignar as a player have looked strongest, when he's able to get out of lane first, start roaming, we know he's a playmaker. That's his natural game. When he's sitting on Tom Kench behind his AD carry, you think, that's not the Ignar that we know and love. With Unsealed Spellbook, they got out of lane before the laning phase ended. They didn't even have to take a turret. They teleported to top side. They made it a longer map by 2 turrets going down. And then Ignar had the creativity, had gotten out of lane, had the boots of mobility on Alistar, and made the plays happen. So not every team, I would say, is suited to going for multiple spellbooks. You need to be thinking about the game in a different way, but that is always Ignar. He plays initiation out of meta. It's initiation meta now for support. He's right square bang in the middle of it. So I love to see a tool designed for BBQ be used to their advantage.
Well, aside from the Mountain Drake and the 1 turret, KSV has really not found anything that they can jump on. Finding an opening for a gank has also been proven quite difficult for them. Finally get a bit of damage here onto this mid turret, but can't stick around for too long. The threat of Ignar and Bono both jumping in is too much.
Does mean that KSV wants the bot side of the map with control wards. Definitely with the inside track into the second Drake, but not a full surrender from the side of BBQ just yet.
Good jump there. Great timing by Ambition. Keeps himself safe as Ignar goes in. Or that headbutt pulverize.
Very excited to see what the build is here for Crazy. First 2 items we know. It's going to be a Frozen Mallet second, but how much into damage they go. This is another game where you would think that being able to crack the gangplank 1v1 and actually kill him with kill pressure of a high damage build is probably the way to go for Crazy. It's been the more recently common build. Something like a Phantom Dancer next could certainly be considered. I guess we have a lot of Secure on this Drake. Maybe you're going to give it up.
Oh, yeah. Just going to have the Rend there. Go ahead and make sure that they take away that Dragon. So pretty straightforward for KSV. That's going to be their bread and butter, though, is this Kalista here, acquiring things such as the Baron and the Dragon.
Second Mountain coming is also great news. The side of KSV, because Baron secure. It's very powerful for them, given that Core JJ can make a high damage Baron team basically immune to damage with just the constant heals. Good turn there from the Kalista Taric as well. So a lot of options around Baron if they can get control there. The thing for them was they've never had control around the top side because of the lanes they were drafted. So waiting for certain item timings on Cuvée, waiting for Crown to actually be able to invade with his jungler and maybe try to target down Bono is probably the way KSV want to go. For now, farm phase is fine for them as well.
Mission yet again, just hovering around, maybe looking to take the Scuttle Crab, but does see the Alistar, but the dash back actually plays to them, so he can get that. Curse you RNG, says BBQ.
Walks up, just roaming around the map. Map vision starting to get more even. Somehow, KSV have been able to get control wards on both sides of the map. So for me, that's just Tempt and Bono and Crazy and Bono not combining their forces to actually get some decent vision. They should have control over Baron because top side has been their playground so far. A lot more even right now. Okay, Cuve's going aggressive.
Yeah, Barrage going to come down. Ambition finally looking for the gank as Crazy goes low. We'll have the transformation. Gets slowed up by the Void Spikes. Flashes away from the barrel. And they might just have to let him go. He's still working his way out of there. In the meantime, Headbutt Pulverize connects onto Core JJ.
Still on Crazy.
Yeah, now going to be jumped on yet again. Leaps to the side to try to get away. Barrel's coming down. Gets the double wallop. And he is going to go ahead and turn mini. And right at the end there, Ambition will find the kill. First one on the board for KSV, but that was still close. Crazy worked them both very low with their HP bars.
So the mind game there was that Ambition did not want to flash until he saw the Gnar ultimate to flash through it. Something being scooped away and then actually having no gap close left. That's why it took longer. Observers went to the mid lane. On the minimap, you could see the chase was going to continue. Able to get another barrel slow, and then the kill was confirmed. So, bit of a mind game there. No second flash, of course, for Crazy to actually get away. Ends up being a kill to KSV. And no punishment across the map except for a bit of vision in the Baron area. So they weren't able to fully clear it, and they lose a member. So definitely advantage KSV. And this is KSV's playground. We're in the mid game. They're the team that has among the strongest vision control in the entire league. That's what Core JJ really improved on compared to Wraith. He was just a vision god. Now he has the chance to do that. Now KSV have good control on the game, and the items start to roll in as well.
Vision finally finding something here for himself with that kill. Can't quite get the control ward, though. Has to pay respect to Tempt. He's got that Morel and Omicron, Sork Boots, and a Blasting Wand in the inventory, so we'll be doing quite a bit of damage to this Kha'Zix, who, his only MR is coming off the Merc Treads.
BBQ just happy to have Cogmore free farming in mid lane. Wonder what his second item will be. The first thought is play the Ruin King, given that Wit's End is only against Malzahar and he has a QSS, so pretty heavy itemization into MR if he went that way, but still a possibility for the on-hit builds. Kha'Zix shadowing QV and bot side. Just want QV to keep pushing on items. Want him to keep up where he's at. He's actually going for a combat build. Looking like it's going to be the Phantom Dancer third for him as well to try to fight back against the Gnar. If there's any level of parity in that lane and you have a global, you know this. In every Twisted Fate meta, Shen meta, or Gangplank meta, you need to be able to beat the champion with a global, otherwise everyone feels the pain. So it's on Crazy to stay items ahead or stay combat ahead of QV, otherwise the worst is confirmed for BBQ.
He does have that nice lead going for him here. There's a lot of that gold's going to be coming back from the Kleptomancy, but speaking of these guys duking it out, we'll see that barrel connection come down. Crazy, ready for the transformation, hits him with the boulder, the heal comes down. QV will jump to the side, and just barely whiffs the ultimate. That's got to be a bit of a feel-bad moment there for Crazy.
Flash to reposition. QV also holds on to his as well, so keeps the safety there. Mission actually leaping towards Crazy.
Yep, just looking for the play yet again, but Crazy does have the hop. Takes himself over the wall. Ambition's still cutting his way through the jungle, but we'll find that blue buff. And Tempt is roaming his way over as well. Ambition jumps in, doesn't have the isolation damage, and you can see Crazy is trading it back quite nicely, but a massive hit from the barrel. Everybody flashes in underneath the turret. They will finish him off, but here comes a Syndra. Tempt goes in, gets the one. Now looking for the second. Nowhere for QV to run. Bono and Ignar pushing in from the sidelines, just hoping to get a little tag in so that they can get that assist. QV is a little bit more elusive than that, however, but W comes down and he will fall.
I wonder what KSV will try on the top side. Because there's vision, they don't start the Baron, but this is definitely a three-man Baron team with the Taric heals and also the Malzahar Voidlings. Core JJ and Ruler think they're flanking, but smart to just pull away, given that Bono's also in the area. Get some vision control there, but 2-for-1 special now enacted for BBQ. Feeling good about that. Crazy bought a lot of time. Ambition, kind of reckless abandon, diving in over the wall. Got punished.
Dazzle connecting there onto Bono. Just take a little bit of damage, but not a ton. Cataclysm down, but Fate's Call will be dragged out. Keep Core JJ safe.
We back away. Gold lead still for BBQ. KSV not fully returning to their old ways, but definitely a lot of scaling going on this draft. Chiefly QV in the top side. So far KSV have monopolized the Drake. They'll continue to. So BBQ haven't actually been able to pull off a proactive play in the past 10 minutes or so. Scaling is all but confirmed. Going to see a Phantom Dancer come through for QV very soon. Things are really getting just too comfortable, eerily comfortable for the side of KSV. And we've seen BBQ's mid-game slow down too far, given the draft they chose.
Well, another Mountain Drake going to get picked up there. Infernal on the way. Looking at potential 4-Dragon KSV.
Ghost's been sitting on a recurve bow for the best part of 10 minutes. So, going to be a big shot for him here. See if the blade is complete. Actually going to be Hurricane first and just holding on to the recurve bow. So, going for an AoE build, anticipating a team fight soon. I tend to agree with the Baron power of KSV, meaning that's the objective most likely it's to be fought for, but haven't seen a lot of Hurricane second Cogmores in recent history.
It's fallen away a bit.
Largely been the respecting enemy threats build of Wit's End or Blade the Ruin King and going Hurricane 3rd or 4th item. Do try to defer to Ghost on builds. He's very good at situationally piecing together builds, on Kog'Maw in particular. Ultra comfort for him, but definitely different than we might have expected.
Well, for now, BBQ doing a really good job of possessing control over the vision here around this Baron pit.
This is the Alamo. This is the place both teams are fighting over. KSV cementing vision, having Gangplank go even in bot side is the dream. BBQ a single pick away from a turn on Baron. We saw this just in our first series, Game 1 and Game 2. That was a pretty common storyline in most games recently, but we got looking for a pick here, Syndra.
Here everybody's speeding up. That's going to be the Cosmic Radiance coming down. Dazzle will connect in onto Bono, but he gets the Flag and Drag away. Nice stun comes through from the Syndra to help keep him safe. And Core JJ has to go golden with a stopwatch. Keep himself alive. TP gets completed here as Crazy arrives. Doesn't have much of an R-bar built up, though. You see Ambition exiting on the backside of the fight there with a Blast Cone, keeping himself alive. He can rejoin his squad. Cube takes quite a bit of damage. And Crazy is fiercely pushing forward because he has that GA, but everybody's have to go their separate ways in the end.
Yeah, 2 separate fights there. Ambition wasn't able to fight with his team because he was just tussling with Ignar on the flanks, so no one actually advances their position. Gnar ult available. Mega Gnar wasn't in that fight. Ignar in his traditional flanking position. Doesn't have ult, so can just be killed.
Taking a bit of damage. Another grab's going to come down. He does have the flash, and we'll go ahead and use that over the wall.
Everyone's
Crown
flashing
now
everywhere.
Getting jumped on. He goes golden, keeps himself alive, but the Cataclysm comes in. You see Ghost is just firing away from the sidelines with the artillery, trying to take them down, and it's going to be a double kill going over to Tempt, as both Crown and Core JJ get taken out.
There's no way for Ruler and Cuvée to enter the fight despite the very low health bars on the side of KSV because the Taric had given up his life. Nice teleport.
TP coming in here from Ignar. Going to be arriving, gets the headbutt there onto Cuvée, pushing him straight into the rest of the members of BBQ, and they will be able to work him down. Ghost finding himself a kill. Crazy gets his GA pop, and now BBQ, they're going to be starting up the Baron, and they might be able to take this.
Yeah, they're turning straight onto it, like you say. Ambition is alive and a level above Bono. Ignar is going to be completely on.
Yeah.
Interruption duty, has vision of the Kha'Zix. Free Baron. Clean stuff from BBQ, and they continue to make the most of the creativity, both of their players and their summoner choices. So we go back to this. What happens here is they know that Ignar's ult is down, so you're waiting for Crown to press the button and initiate. I love the changing places we have here. It's like a sitcom. Which is a flash over the wall by Ignar, insta flash over the wall by Tempt. You're worried that Ghost will die instantly to Ambition, but he can flash away from isolation. He has 200 health. The barrel chain doesn't hit him, and Ruler and Cuvée have no access to the fight from there.
Beautifully done. Now we see a bit of a lead opening up for BBQ, a bit more of a tangible one. It's 4,000 gold for them. 7-2. Up a turret, but they still have to have concern over the amount of dragons that KSV has gotten for themselves. Infernal Drake getting ready to come up in a few minutes.
And it's fighting time.
4 stacks on an Elder Dragon. Doesn't seem so good there for BBQ.
And Vision being pushed on the enemy red side jungle, and bot lane out to finally be taken. So it's fighting time, Achilles. No more free Drakes for the side of KSV. Still 2 minutes though, so it's going for vision control on this side. Tempt gets poked out pretty significantly. No Ocean Drakes to top him up.
Wave clear, though, still going to be quite strong for KSV. Even with those Baron-empowered minions, they have the Hurricane on the Callista to help work them down.
So while I criticized Cuvée for going pretty defensive on his Gnar build in the Gnar versus GP matchup and not being able to threaten him, on his Gangplank, he's going for late-game dreams very early. Phantom Dancer 3rd, Infinity Edge 4th is the most backline threat that a Gangplank will ever have. So doesn't feel pressured in lane. Only 40 CS down, so he's putting together a team fight build. He's going to be very, very powerful. The next time we see a fight, probably around the Baron, you would imagine, is when the Infinity Edge will be complete. Still a minute 35 on BBQ's Baron buff. Not been a massive value one just yet. The lanes have been pushing out for KSV. Top lane is pushed out. Bot lane was slowed by how much damage Tempt took. So far, been a heroic defense by KSV against his Baron buff.
Cuvée trying to get the jump, but he's standing on top of a ward. Still gets a little bit of damage there onto Crazy, but see, it's pretty negligible.
Yeah, it's just so impressive. KSV, they just had their red side jungle invaded for vision against the Baron buff. Their wards are back up. All the enemy vision is gone. BBQ now don't have safety on the map, even with that Baron buff showing so much threat. The most they might get is this outer turret, so inner turret and top side.
Whittling this one away. As much as they can, Ghost just trying to push these waves in so they can go ahead and finish off the turret. Seems like they're going to get both of them in one fell swoop. Well, actually, no. Fight's going to go ahead and erupt on the top side of the map. The air score JJ. We'll have that Cosmic Radiance come down to help keep them safe. Ignar over the wall does have his flash. If he could just get next to the damn wall. Seems like he is not going to get the opportunity. Headbutts Ruler away, but he's still in range of the Ren. But yeah, down in the bottom lane, he's just buying time for Tempt and Crazy to go ahead and start pushing down these inhibitors.
They definitely know their roles there, just happy to wait. The moment that they were initiated on, I think everyone realized it was just Ghost, Bono, and Ignar. Very low damage, especially as Ghost had to flash out first and was only in range if he had the Bioarcane Barrage up over the wall. So Ignar bought time, smartly done. But it does mean KSV have the inside track on a fourth Drake, and it is that all-important Inferno.
Working their way in, Ambition pushing forward. Doesn't do a whole lot there to Bono. Crazy's poking out from the sidelines here. Going to be looking to build up a Narbar.
BBQ's carries at casually level 18.
Everybody on KSV playing to the back of the pit. This would be a big opportunity for the Gnar if he could get there, but can't quite turn Mega. Seems like KSV will just be able to walk in and walk out.
BBQ, not 5-man strong, decide to hold on. Ignar had teleport because of the unsealed spellbook, but hadn't respawned yet, so wasn't a way for him to get into the fight. Not the best flank wards available. So we back away with the game more finely poised than perhaps the scoreboard shows. 6,000 gold lead to BBQ, that's great. They've played towards their mid supremacy and also their mid control they've had ever since the game spawned, with it being Syndra in a good matchup and also the Jarvan on the front foot. We said around 25 minutes the game installed, but getting the Baron buff was very important for BBQ. Weren't able to crack the base with it, but do take down a turret in the bot side and also most of the health on the inner turret. On the top side as well. We're probably going to have to rinse and repeat, and that's kind of the big worry for BBQ is did problem solve themselves to a first Baron. The second Baron's going to be against Infinity Edge Gangplank, and then things get a lot trickier.
Well, this is really going to be on Ghost, keeping himself alive. Has the Ghost to his name, actually, there with the Summoner spells, so he can try to skirt around the outside of the fights. Keep himself safe. We'll see if he's able to do that. Has the Mercurial Scimitar completed as well, so pretty defensive without sacrificing too much power.
JJ's got the Swifties this game. That's a fun one.
He's got the Swifties. He's got the Tear of the Goddess as well in the inventory.
Yeah, the Tear was finished earlier. That part is very standard. I guess if you think about slows, sure, there is the Boomerang from the Gnar, but I imagine it's just to guarantee the Dazzle if he's able to actually get in melee range of the Cogmore. Not allow that to be kited out with the fixed distance that it runs. Also just allows him better positioning, right? As Ignar thinks about just face tanking this for a while, but they're respecting that Malzahar is in the area and they don't have deep vision to know exactly when Kha'Zix's coming in.
So just hovering around waiting for the wave to crash. You can see Cube still on the bottom side, making sure those super creeps aren't threatening the rest of the base, and that will be that inner turret going down. Just one more remaining in the mid lane.
Notice there's only 4 control wards in the vision for BBQ, and awkwardly 3 of them are on the Alistar, who can only have 1 placed at a time. Do have good vision in the area, but want to have the ability to refresh them because the Baron buff contest is coming soon, and Power putting down 3 control wards after the enemy has been exhausted out of vision and turning on to Baron is what BBQ are hoping for. So that's very much the gold standard here for BBQ. Don't necessarily have enough, but you'll see Bono go back and pick up another.
Nice little stun there on the core JJ, but can't follow it up with too much damage. So BBQ standing in on that ward. Core JJ wants to get that control around the corner, but
Ignar is clearing out all the Ignar spotting wards, as you can see. 2 control wards around the red side jungle.
Making sure he has a nice little access path through the flank. Will be spotted yet again through there if he walks up just a little bit more.
Whenever Ignar's in the game on a playmaker, it's always a bit of a mystery that's being enacted. A combat puzzle, if you will. Mission walking on a lot of vision.
It's just an ambition, vision, mission. For JJ throwing down the control ward, not going to get stunned. Headbutt Pulverize goes through, but Crown has the passive.
Yeah, too fast. He didn't buff for long enough, so ended up Crown getting 2 spells for the price of 1.
Quite happy with that one. Another stun in on the core JJ as they poke him down, but still be all right.
And all of this Ambition's just trying to clear vision, but isn't able to get out the second control ward. Still good vision here from BBQ. They start the Baron in vision. Only now with the sweeper does Ignar get the confirmation.
And this one started up. It's down to about half HP. KSV inching their way forward, and BBQ mostly peeling back away. Seems like they'll have to let this leash.
No Narbar. 10 flashes up as well means the turn here is very difficult to pull off.
Things can get very messy very quickly.
The only champion who can really manufacture a pick out of nowhere would be the Syndra at this point in the game. But Superminion's pushing in. Suddenly a lot of things for KSV to respect.
Yep, you see QA going back down there. We'll be able to clear that out rather swiftly. And for their troubles, KSV find themselves a turret. Ambition going to get jumped on the GA, gets popped, and Ignar standing on top of him, ready for that pulverize. Ambition will be able to flash away. Flag and Drag brings Bono in close. Dazzle connects as they try to get some damage down onto this J4. Shields come through. Face call. Massive pop-up coming in from Core JJ. The first red comes out, and it's Roller finding a kill in onto the J4. Nethergrasp in onto the Gnar as he goes in with the Guardian Angel. He'll get popped back up. The Silence comes in. Massive stun into the wall and actually trades one back, getting rid of the enemy jungler, but it's still going to be a 2-for-1 in favor of KSV.
I mean, Bono decided with or without you, he was going to go in and try to start the fight, but gets punished in a massive way. Now KSV around the Baron with the turn, with everything up, primed to take the second Baron of the game.
Now they have the Kalista ready to go. It'd be a miracle steal if BBQ could take it away. See Ghost poking in the backside here. QB trying to gate this out. Two-man pulverize comes in. They get one. That's ground going down. Ghost trying to kite his way out. He manages to live and he gets a quadra kill off the back. The Baron hasn't even started regenerating, but the Baron be damned. BBQ, they're just going to go straight in for the inhibitors.
It was pre-rework. Cogmore action coming in. That is mowed down 4 members as they stood. Baron is not actually going to happen for KSV. In an instant, everyone is deleted. The minion wave is there. They're not going to taxi it, though. They're not looking to end the game as far as we can tell. But Crazy's coming back with teleport. Surely this is the moment, even with Ambition respawning.
Ambition just trying to clear out these waves, but double TP coming through, keeping them alive. Ignar and Crazy rejoin. This is going to be at least 2 inhibitors going down, if not more. Core JJ not up for 10 seconds. Ignar around the back gets the head button. Ambition has to jump away, and now they're opening up onto the Nexus turrets. Flag and Drag in flashes for the knock-up, and this might just be it. BBQ looking to end the game.
And Respawn still a while from now. Ignar interrupting. Ghost just going for the Nexus. Turns out Ambition, free kill.
Yeah, that's one dead, and Ghost just burns him down. That is going to be it. 40 minutes just about on the clock, and BBQ against the run of play have taken down KSV in game 1.
And surely it's the sweetest thing for Bono to pick up a victory on his first game. BBQ and their shot calling a lot more straightforward than some of the struggles they had with Trick in the lineup. So maybe a too many cooks situation with multiple different viewpoints on how to play the game when a player as experienced as Trick is in the lineup. And BBQ Oliver's upset KSV, a team we had pegged 2 weeks ago as the trendsetter, now struggling, now dropping games in multiple series.
Really rough stuff there for KSV, and Ambition never really finding that much ground to stand on. Is Kanks going in early, not finding much success, getting the runaround by Bono at the start, constantly being invaded on.
And everyone on KSV looks shell-shocked, they're surprised. Yep. This was a return to the scaling. Now, it wasn't necessarily disrespectful scaling, but it was a lot of scaling. Ambition was kind of left with nowhere to be, and BBQ took the maximum, just like we saw Kingzone Dragon X do. Their ability to play out this draft where they had mid and top priority was the best. Let's watch the replay here. Ignar comes out of vision again. WQ onto 2, Crown deleted with his ultimate down, but didn't matter. And from there, Ghost was a siege tank. It was basically a fountain laser. Apologies to Teddy, but they mow everyone down. Ruler has no front line. Too easy for BBQ, and Ignar on the roam does it again.
I mean, Ruler just contained inside the Baron pit, had no way of getting in on top of Ghost to try to kill him when the rest of the members did, and that just leads to him grabbing up a quadra kill and then ending the game. So fantastic stuff from BBQ here. KSV gonna have to try to bounce back because they look a bit unbalanced coming into this series, suffering from vertigo perhaps, but they need to get back on track if they're going to be able to close this out, because now they need 2 wins in a row.
I can't argue with that, Achilleos. They really do need to come in strong, return to their strategy against MVP. Initiation, lane priority, less scaling for KSV.
All right, rough stuff. We'll see if they can bounce back. The players look pretty defeated, but we'll find out when we come back from the break.